I am Elijah Ibukun Adejimi. I was born on the 16th of June 1985. I'm the last born of my father. My mother, my elder brother and sister are about 8 and 7 years older than me, respectively. Before my birth, I was told my mother had a stillbirth of a boy after a pregnancy that lasted for more than a year. Before my mother gave birth to me, she had a lot of traumatic and afflicting experiences while she was pregnant, some that were capable of causing her to lose her life. But God kept her, preserved her, and an unborn child. Of course, that's why I'm alive to share my story. My parents' togetherness as husband and wife, who were both in the Celestial Church, had come under serious battle long before giving birth to me. And by the time I was barely 4 years old, they had both separated. Had no memories whatsoever of both of them together. As a child, I craved and yearned for the shared love of my parents, and I hoped against hope that one day they would live together as husband and wife. This became a worry and concern throughout my childhood. My dad, elder brother, and sister provided the home and comfort I needed as a child. And I think this is a treasure no child should be denied. My life has been one of greed, grace, and gratitude. First of all, greed because it was the courage of a father who, even though he faced many fears and battles, he refused to give up on God. A God who is able to turn what the devil meant for evil to good and glory. My father took the responsibility of caring for the three of us fully, a task he embraced throughout his active life. Not only that, it was a lot of commitment for a single parent who would stop at nothing to get the best education for me. My father loved education. Against all odds, my father ensured I finished my secondary education at the School of Science and the Federal Government College, both in Ikiro, Osun State. This came at a huge sacrifice and with so much determination by my father. At the time when my dad retired from active service, he visited tertiary institutions around, looking for the best option for me to have a good tertiary education. Secondly, grace, because as a child, my father showed us the way of the Lord. He ensured that we all attended church and prayed together as a family. This was the foundational exposure I needed as a child that will eventually pave the way for me to embrace the grace of God that brings salvation. And that grace is Jesus. Jesus found me. I first made a decision for Jesus when I was 10. It was a public one on an open ground crusade by our church back then. I didn't understand what the decision was while growing up until I finished secondary school in 2001, when I genuinely gave my life to Jesus Christ at 16. I would later depend on God's grace to navigate a 6-year delay before gaining admission into the university, even though I had passed all my subjects by the time I finished secondary school. Eventually, I gained admission into the University of Ibadan in 2006, and the same grace of God was my stay all through till I finished in 2012. And I went on to complete a master's degree in 2016 from the Center for Sustainable Development, University of Ibadan, through the encouragement and support of my elder brother. I was in 300 level when I began dating my wife. We were in the same campus fellowship, student Christian movement. At that time, I was 25. And I told God that same year, I wanted a relationship with somebody who we could serve God together and worship God together, visit the redemption camp, and eventually marry by the time I will be 30. As a student, I spent most of my days on campus. Even at Christmas and at New Year, once in a while, I visited my siblings. I perceived my chances as a single were slim. And I wouldn't want to finish from the university without getting this relationship sorted with the help of God. It was by the grace of God that I was ordained into the ministry. And the same grace secured a profession for me when the future looked bleak and gloomy within the sustainability space. His grace continues to sustain me in every area of life. And lastly, gratitude to God. God saved me and gave me life in Jesus Christ. Everything I lost or didn't have, I have found in Jesus. God continues to raise and use people for me at varying times in my life. I'm grateful to God for my mom, Elizabeth Adenike Adejimi, who nursed me as a baby and nurtured the pains, trials, and travails of the circumstances that surrounded my birth. Thanks to my sister, Omowumi Adedeji, who, like a mother, despite the pains and struggles of the girl child, still took care of our baby brother. I appreciate my brother, Dr. Michael Adejimi, a man of many parts, who through thick and thin stood his ground against several odds and ensured I got married at the time I wanted to. I've enjoyed the support of their spouses in many ways. I mean, my brother, my sister, and the wife of my youth, Omololu Adejimi, my rock-solid support and ever-present ally, the mother of my two children, Araolua and Ame Olua. My in-laws, home and abroad, who from the onset treat me more than just an in-law. I am eternally grateful to God for the Student Christian Movement platform, where God placed me when I was on campus, and the SCM family, Reverend and Professor A.B. Sobal, who ordained me into ministry and mentored the relationship I had with my wife, and senior friends who stood by me during my trying times. The Stone Church platform and family, Pastor Alex Adegboye, who gave me a chance to work with him at the church head office. And finally, the Stone Church Iyaganku Total Man Assembly. I want to thank my pastor and leader, Dr. Shola Akande, who since my first day in the Stone Church has remained a reliable friend, an exemplary leader, and a mentor. I'm grateful to all that God has used him to wrought in my life as a father. I believe that God who found me, who gave me a hope when I didn't have any, gave me a chance and gave me a better life in him. When the future looked bleak, I looked up unto him and he helped me to navigate the trials. For the people watching me today, I know you can find hope in him. I know that you can find a better life in God. The God who did all of this for me is able and more than able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ever think or ask from him. I believe that the God who gave me another life can do much more for you. All you need to do is to just surrender to him, allow him to give you the life that is abundant in him alone. And with him, you can navigate life. With him, you can scale hurdles and challenges. With him, you can enjoy the possibilities that are bound in God. And with him, nothing that you ever desire can elude you. God bless you.